What's up everyone? Warzone Season 4 is here, along with 2 new contracts and 3 new in-game events, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about those right now. Hello and welcome. I am Amedio602, and if this is your first time on the channel and you want to improve at Call of Duty, then start now by subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss out on tips, tricks, and tactics to make you a better player. We have 2 contracts to talk about today. There's the Most Wanted contract as well as the Contraband contract. And for the second half of the video, we're going to switch gears and talk about the 3 new in-game events, Jailbreak, the Supply Choppers, and the Fire Sale. To kick things off, we are going to start with the new Most Wanted contract. This contract is in addition to the Scavenger, Recon, and Bounty contracts. It's most similar to the Bounty contract, except this time you're calling in a bounty on yourself. Any player who picks up the Most Wanted contract designates themselves as a high-value target, gives away their location to every other player in the war zone, and becomes hunted for a period of 3 minutes. At the end of the 3 minutes, if you are still alive, then you get 3,000 in cash for each member of your team, and any team members who are not alive will be instantly respawned. This is obviously the most dangerous contract, but it's also got the greatest reward because you can respawn all of your teammates. Of course, if you die within that 3 minutes, then you don't get anything. The player that kills you and their team gets a reward though. The reward for killing the high-value target is you get 1,000 in cash for each team member. And something really strange about this particular contract, and I don't know if this is on purpose or if this is a bug, but I did notice that killing a Most Wanted target when you have dead teammates still rewards those dead teammates with cash. The big thing that makes me think that this is a bug is that the amount of cash was not consistent. In the gameplay on the screen, you'll notice that I have 2 dead teammates. One of them gets $500 and the other one gets $1,400. I feel like this payout needs to be increased for killing the Most Wanted target, because in a lot of cases you're going to be going into a room full of campers and you're only going to get 1/3 of the cash that they're going to receive. In addition to that, if time expires while you're hunting them, their teammates can instantly respawn right behind you. I think a nice balancing change for the Most Wanted contract would be to make it so that if you do kill the Most Wanted target, then you should get a free team revive as well. That would make this contract a whole lot more interesting, and it could help incentivize hunting down those Most Wanted targets. When hunting down a Most Wanted target, I'd also like to see some sort of indication on the screen that the Most Wanted contract is about to expire. All in all though, I think the Most Wanted contract is a pretty nice addition, and it adds some variety into the game, especially for a player who's trying to bring back his teammates. The second contract that was added is called the Contraband contract. As far as I know right now, the Contraband contract is only obtainable by completing another contract. Let me say that one more time. In order to start the Contraband contract, you first have to complete a different contract. This Contraband contract spawns as a reward for completing the other contract. The base value of the Contraband contract is $4,000 per teammate. As of right now, that makes this the highest paying contract. In addition to the $4,000 in cash per player, you also can obtain a weapon blueprint for completing this contract. In my case, I was able to obtain the Lonely Lagoon variant of the AX-50. You can see the attachments for this blueprint on the screen right now. And while I'm not a big fan of most of these attachments, the skin's pretty cool and I do like the tac laser. I would not keep the rest of the attachments on the Lonely Lagoon. Instead, I would recommend the Monolithic suppressor, the longest barrel you can find, either the focus or the fully loaded weapon perk, and some other attachment to improve your aim down sights time. But we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here a little bit, aren't we? Let's talk more about how to earn this blueprint. The duration on the Contraband contract is 4 minutes. I'm going to break this contract down into 3 phases. In the first phase, you have to actually get to the drop zone. The drop zones all appear to be similar in location to the plunder drop zones, which means in a lot of cases they are wide out in the open. Once you get to the drop zone, you need to drop a smoke grenade into the middle of the drop zone. Once you throw that smoke grenade and signal the chopper, you need to wait 25 seconds for the chopper to appear. Once the chopper appears, you're almost finished. All you need to do is run up to the bag and press and hold your use key. On PS4, that's going to be your reload button, so in my case it was square. And you need to hold that in for 1 second, hoping that a growl with purple tracers doesn't kill you in that amount of time. I got extremely lucky and completed the contract right before I got downed. And you can see on the screen here, that's all you need to do to complete the Contraband contract. Switching gears, now we're going to talk about the new in-game events added for Warzone Season 4. Infinity Ward has been adjusting the frequency of the in-game events. They used to happen just about every game, and now they only happen every once in a while. And I really like these in-game events because they add to the randomness in Warzone. Sometimes in Warzone it feels like you're kind of playing the same game over and over again, especially with the loadout drops. So I really do like that they've added these to kind of spice things up and make it feel like a different game every time you play. All of the in-game events that I've encountered have happened during the red circle number 2. And what that means is that's when the gas is closing for the second time. This is usually going to be about 3 minutes or so after that first free loadout drops. And I also really like the time where they added these events because it's not too early in the game, but it's also not way late in the game when you've already kind of got everything figured out. And depending on which event occurs and whether you get any bonuses from it or not, it can really change the dynamic of a game. First off, you have the Jailbreak event, which is a 30-second countdown timer, and at the end of that 30-second countdown timer, everyone who's dead respawns. And at first I was a little bit skeptical of this event, whether I would like it or whether I wouldn't like it. But at the end of the day, I decided this is nice because if you're in a party with randoms, it makes it just a little bit more likely that they're going to stick around in the game. One of my big pet peeves is getting a random on your team who dies at the beginning of the game and then just immediately quits. Now that there's the hope of a jailbreak contract, there's a chance that a couple more people might stick around and you might even end up buying some people back. One thing that's important to know about the jailbreak event though, and I don't understand this, hopefully this is something that gets changed, is that people in the gulag or people that are dead don't get any kind of a notification that the jailbreak is about to occur. So this is just one more reason to use a microphone and talk to your teammates. The second in-game event that I want to talk about is the supply choppers, and this one is definitely the most complicated, so stick around, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this one. During the supply chopper event, 5 very large supply choppers enter the war zone. Once the supply choppers spawn, they stay in the air for a really long time. I've seen supply choppers that were in the air for as long as 5 minutes, and that is an eternity in a Call of Duty game. Each chopper has an immense amount of hit points, but if you manage to take one down, it'll spiral out of control and crash to the ground. When you're shooting down one of these supply choppers, it's a really good idea to keep an eye out for any other fire that is being directed at the chopper that you're shooting, because if another team is shooting at the same chopper as you, there's a good chance they're also going to be going for the same loot once that chopper crashes. Lock-on rocket launchers such as the Pila and the Joker are the best way to take out these choppers, but they can also be damaged by small arms fire, so if you and your team focus fire on a single chopper, you should be able to get it onto the ground and still have enough ammunition for a firefight. When it crashes, it drops a loot crate. The loot crate takes about 10 seconds to open, and by the way, only one teammate can open the loot crate at a time, so you can't like double up or triple up like you can on a recon contract, so make sure whoever's opening the crate has a lot of cover from the team. When the crate is open, it drops cash, grenade launchers, UAVs, armor boxes, munition boxes, you name it. In the gameplay on the screen, you can see that our crate dropped about 14,000 in cash, a grenade launcher, 2, maybe 3 UAVs, 2 armor boxes, a munitions box, an armor satchel and plates, and a gas mask. Now that stopping power, that might have come out of the crate too, or maybe a teammate dropped that, I'm not really sure. But just keep in mind that an enemy might come after you while you're getting all this great loot, so you want to get in, get your loot, and get out of there. I really like the addition of these supply choppers into the game because it just adds that element of randomness into the Battle Royale. And there are a few different ways you can play these supply choppers too. You can either try to shoot it down and take the loot for yourself, or you can just try to third-party a team that's trying to shoot down a supply chopper. And if you really wanted to be that guy, you could also just camp the supply box and wait for the teams to go pick up their loot and then kill them right there on the spot during the 10 seconds that it takes to open the box. So with all of these strategies and probably a whole lot more that the community hasn't even come up with yet, I really like the addition of supply choppers. The loot that they drop really can turn a mediocre game into an excellent game. That takes us on to our third and final new in-game event for Season 4, and this one's my personal favorite. This is called the Fire Sale. When the Fire Sale starts, you have 90 seconds to get to a buy station. During that 90 seconds, everything except the loadout drop is available for a huge discount. You can see the price list on the screen right now, and some of the highlights there are that teammate redeploys and self-revives are completely free during the Fire Sale. It's also a great time to pick up any necessities that you might be missing, such as gas masks, UAVs, or armor boxes. But just like the loot crates from the supply choppers, you want to get into the fire sale and get out because that buy station is going to get busy. Whether it's during a fire sale or not, it's always a great time to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on my future uploads. And as always, thank you very much for watching.